Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, Madam.
Hello.
Morning.
Yes. Do you have the
Good morning,
gentleman
madam.
there? Good morning.
Good morning.
So you are all welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You are also welcome.
Thank you. I believe you are all doing well.
Yes, madam. Yes, please. How
Yes,
about you?
Yeah, God's grace. I'm also doing well. The grace is keeping us.
yeah.
Yes, madam.
See, it's always good when you know yourself already and you are meeting once again. So it becomes how do you call it? A day of calling to memories, remembering whatever relationship you had before. And it becomes very dangerous if at the first time that you met, you were not in good relationship. Then when you meet again, it becomes difficult for you to interact. So to me, I would say you were all very good to me. So I don't have problem interacting with you. But I don't know with me whether I was also good and you were so willing to meet me again. But whatever be the case, let's put the past behind and then move forward. So I welcome you. I warmly welcome you into this class. Maybe I'm tempted to ask some question. How was the exams for the previous semester?
Madam, it was cool.
It was cool, eh? Good, thank God. First lady.
Madam,
Mm-hmm.
it was quite okay. We tried.
Okay. Okay. Good, thank God. And I also tried.
Yes, you did.
So we all tried. Are the results out?
No,
No,
madam.
please.
Oh.
Madam, please, how did we do?
Oh, by the grace of God, it was fine.
Okay, thank you.
By the grace of God, it was. Since I didn't record any F, then I'll say it was fine.
Thank you.
But the problem is how many A's we had and how many A minus we had. But in summary, you did well. It was fine. All right. So let's not take too much of your time since you'll still be having another class after this. Even if you are not having another class, we are working according to time. So I think we can smoothly switch to whatever brought us together once again. So we thank God we have come to another semester, and this semester we are meeting for a new course that is CIIS 306, which is human computer interaction. But as we know, we can only do this, or we can only wake up, come and sit here, talk for people to listen, or come and do this discussion based on someone, a supreme being who has blessed us with what we call life and strength. So we can't always, or we can never ignore him whenever we meet. So please, gentlemen and our first lady, I'll need one of you to pray and usher us into the session so that we can start.
Please, let's pray. Heavenly Father, we are grateful unto Thee for how far Thou hast brought us. We thank Thee for guiding us through, and as we have gathered once again, we thank Thee for everything. We pray that as we are beginning this semester, we pray for a smooth and a successful one. We commit our lecturer into Thy hands, that Thou would protect her, grant her more wisdom, so we can also learn. We pray for strength throughout in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
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 Thank you. Sariram, are you also for mommy?
No, please.
But are you married?
Yes, please, I am.
Okay, so meaning you will not become a mommy. Thank you so much. Mostly when we meet and you say someone should pray, the ladies normally find it difficult to pray. So when you meet a lady who is always devoted to pray, then you see that that person knows what she's doing. She knows what it's all about, and she really acknowledges God. So God bless you for that. All
Thank
right.
you.
So yeah, we have come together again in another semester, another level of your academic journey. So this semester we'll be looking at a new course altogether. For myself, I don't think I need any introduction again. And for your class, I don't know if there is any new student who has joined. If there is someone, then the person can introduce himself or herself. Okay, so this course is human computer interaction. There is this scripture that I like so much, and I can read it every day. I can preach it every day. When you read Genesis chapter 1, when God started creating things, He will call this to come, and it will come. He said, God, let there be light. There was light. Let there be this. There was that. He did all that. And then finally, He said, let us create a man. Let us create a man. The man here refers to a human being, but not a feminine, not a masculine man. He said, let us create a man in our own image and likeness. In our own image and likeness. So when you go there, it says, so He created a man. And the reason for creating a man was that whatever He has created, He wants man to be in charge of all His creation. So God has given us that power to also create. We cannot create human beings, we cannot create things that God has created already, but we can also create other things. So we have been created to create because the image, or we are like God. He has given some, or He's put some of His qualities, His powers, His authorities into us, and He has given us that power. So, in fact, I really like that scripture. And in relating it to this course, human-computer interaction, there is a question I always ask: human being and the computer, who is more powerful and who is more intelligent? So God has given us the power to create. And when it comes to computing systems, that is where we see the intelligence of human beings so much. The power that God has put into us, that is where we experience it so much. All right, so when we say human-computer interaction, since it's about interaction, maybe we should interact. So let me ask, the first time you saw this course on your timetable, what came into your mind? What were you expecting? What were you hoping to achieve at the end of the course? So let's interact more. Since today is the first time, let's use this to introduce the course, introduce ourselves very well, so that we can take off on a good note. So colleagues, another semester came, the timetable was out, and then you saw human-computer interaction. What came into your mind? What were you expecting? And what do you want to achieve by the end of the course? You know, I like mentioning names, and since it's good I can see your names here. There is someone who has just logged in with the ID, only ID. Please add your name to it. Yes, human-computer interaction. Have you done any background reading? When you saw the timetable, have you done some checks on the course? What have you learned so far? What were you expecting? Even if you have not learned anything, when you saw the course name, what came into your mind? Brown. Noble. Noble, are you online or you have just connected and you are sleeping somewhere? Andrews.
Madam, how we humans communicate with computers? That's what
So how we human beings
designing.
communicate with computers.
We're
Okay,
designing
okay, so that's from Andrews.
like through mobile apps, or that's when you are communicating like yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Elvis.
Madam,
Mm-hmm.
my understanding, only how the computer understands what the human is doing or putting in.
Okay, how the computer understand human beings. The first person said how human being interacts with the computer, and the second person how computer understand the human being. All right. Adams.
Madam,
Yes.
okay. My first time hearing human computer interaction, what came in my mind was like, definitely it's going to be something ancient. It's going to be like a history of how computer was made and how human being is going to, engage with the computer to solve problems for us. So, actually, I didn't read much about it. That was what I was thinking in my mind. That was what I was thinking in my mind. So, um, it's basically going to be like how the olden days and compared to now as a computer world. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
So Adams is saying when he saw the calls, he traced his mind to the past. That this thing is going to tell us or give us a history of how computer started or how the computer was generated and the interaction from then to now or from then and now. So to compare it and then see how it has transformed over time. All right.
Yes.
Emmanuel Ahache.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, according to my understanding, human-computer interface is all about how users
Not
interact.
human-computer interface.
Hey,
Human-computer interaction.
okay, all right, madam. All right, so it's all about how users interact with the computer, how easy and how attractive they find it using it, and how they feel after using it, whether to come back to it or left it behind. That is the interest they find in using a system. So that's my basic understanding about it.
All right. Then we go to Collins. In fact, it is interesting when we are working with small class because you can call everybody to talk. Collins, if I call you and then you don't respond, that means you are not in the class. I'll mark you absent. So Noble is
And now he's not absent, so the network is worrying him.
Madam, I'm here.
no, but he didn't even mute.
Hello?
If the person is unmuted, then you can see, oh, he's trying to speak but this one mentioned the name severally and there was nothing.
Madam, you didn't mention my name, Nubo.
I didn't mention your name. Ask your colleagues if I didn't mention your name. I
She
mentioned your
did.
name
She
more than
did.
5
You are not
times.
Mention your
responding.
name, bro.
Then I think it's my network.
Collins,
Sorry.
is Collins part of us? Because I see he's a co-host.
Madam, I'm here.
Okay, yes.
Nubo.
No, but your time has passed, so it's Collins' time now. If Collins is online. Ahache,
Hello?
yes.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, Ahache, Emmanuel, we are listening.
I spoke earlier.
Oh, you have spoken.
Yeah, I
So
spoke.
were you the one who was tracing the computer to, you said the
Interface.
history, right?
No, that was Adams.
Okay. So after I dance, you have spoken, yes, you have.
Yeah.
All right, George. George, Kwame Tete.
Hello? Hi. Hello?
Yes, we are listening.
Yeah, sorry. I just came up, so if it's about what we are saying, it has to do with how computers interact with humans, or how humans interact with computers. Sorry.
Are you done?
Yes, please.
All right. Okay. Stephen.
Hello, madam.
Human-computer interaction.
It's a study that shows how people design, implement, and use computer technology.
The study that
shows how people design, implement, and use the computer technology.
Okay. All right. So Noble, you can speak now.
Okay, madam. So how humans interact with computers is like, let's say I'm typing now, I'm interacting with the computer. I'm recording, let's say I'm talking here right now, so I'm interacting with the computer. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, madam.
So you are done.
Please.
All right.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So you are giving us an example of human-computer interaction.
Yes,
All right.
please.
First lady.
Madam,
Human-computer interaction.
Madam, please, I didn't read much about it, but it's just as my friends said. It's about how we communicate with the computer.
It's about how we communicate with the computer. All right. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, so thank you so much for sharing your ideas and then your opinions. In fact, nobody was wrong. None of you was wrong. Everything you have said is right. So let's take a quick look briefly with at the course description. So we said this course, please, let me mention this first. Pardon me, I've not yet compiled the course materials on the LMS. So I'll try my best to do that within the week before we meet next week. Okay. So the course introduces students to the fundamental theories and concepts of human-computer interaction. HCI is an interdisciplinary field that integrates theories and methodologies across many domains, including, so whatever we are going to learn now is not only in the field of computer science, but it's about also including computer science, neurocognitive, or computer science, that's what the study of the computers, the studies and then development of computers and computer systems. The neurocognitive, the study of the human brain. So how the brain works and so on. And then we have neurocognitive engineering, then cognitive psychology. So we'll do a little psychology, that is to understand how human beings or how the human brain understand issues and act on issues. And then we also look at the human factors. What factors come from the human being when it comes to interacting with computers? And then engineering design. So if there's a particular design and we want to rework on it, or if there's something new we need to build, if there's something we need to add to an existing system. So this is what we'll be looking at. These are the domains that we'll be cutting across. We'll also be looking at implementation. So after the system is designed, how will it be implemented, and then evaluation of interfaces. So we say we are interacting with a computer, and before you interact with a computer, it is through an interface. So we have to evaluate those interfaces to see whether it is best for a user or best for a human being to use. How easy it is for people to use, how user-friendly it is, and so on. Students will work on both individual and then team projects to design, implement, and then evaluate computer interfaces. Objective of the course. So at the end of the course, the student should be able to describe and apply core theories. So before we can interact with a system, there are some theories behind that, which we need to understand. There are some models that guide us that we need to understand. There are some methodologies that direct whatever we do, which we need to follow. The students should be able to explain the capabilities of both humans and then the computers from the viewpoint of human information processing. The student should be able to describe and use HCI
Madam, please, we can't hear you clearly.
The World Wide Web.
Madam, please, we weren't hearing you.
Oh, sorry. Is it better now?
Yes, please.
You can hear me now. All right. But you can see my screen as well, right?
Yes, please, we can.
Okay. So I was on I don't know which ones you didn't hear. So let me take the point 5 again. That at the end of the course, the student should be able to describe and discuss current research in the field of ACI. And then finally, analyze and discuss ACI issues in group where ubiquitous computing, virtual reality, multimedia, and the World Wide Web related environments. So those are what we'll be looking at during the course. So we have some related materials here that you can download and read. We'll give you some of them. Then course assessment is not different from all other courses. So we have our mid-semester 20%. We have the assignment quizzes, that is and presentation, also 20%. End of semester examination is 60%. But as I normally do, if you do a project, if we give you a real life project to do, then there's no way we are going to mark that project and quizzes and assignments over 10%. And so that project will now become part of the end of semester exams. So take note that you'll be doing a project. This is your grading system. That's for the school. So it's not different from all other courses that you have been studying so far. So let's look at the weekly activities. So we'll be looking at the introduction, the history, and then the usage of ACI. Then we also look at the human brain versus the computer, how the human process information. Then we compare it to how the computer also process information. We look at the human memory. Then we look at the interaction styles and design guidelines. If we say we're going to interact with the computer, what are some styles, some forms, or which forms do we interact? So we'll look at all of them. We'll take some semester exams. Then we also look at the user-centered design and task analysis. And then interface design rules, technology and change, then user interface evaluation techniques. So if God permits us and then grant us the strength, this is what we're going to cover within the next few weeks. Coach Rep.
Madam,
I've not seen the academic calendar. How many weeks do we have in this semester?
it's about 13 weeks.
13.
Yes.
13, they said that should we do, isn't it too much?
That's what. Let me forward it to you.
All right, okay, I would love to. All right, thank you so much. So this is the course outline. That is what we'll be going through within the next 13 weeks, as he has said. Okay. Now let's start. I don't know, is there any question concerning the course description, or if you have your own question relating to the course, or any contribution before we continue? So can I continue?
Yes, madam.
All right, thank you. Okay, so today we are looking at, or we are introducing the course. So looking at the introduction of human-computer interaction. So when we say human-computer interaction, what do we mean? So now let me ask my question. The human being and the computer, who is more powerful? Yes, the human being and the computer, who is more powerful?
Madam, please, the human being.
Is the human being.
Yes, please.
Okay. Why?
Because the human being gives the command for the computer to implement.
Okay. So Sayam say is the human being. I need three. So, yes, human being and computer, who is more powerful? Oh, my people, this one doesn't need too much thinking. Oh. So just say it and let's go.
A human being is the inventor of computer, so it can never be powerful than the inventor.
But that doesn't mean. So who is more powerful, the computer or the human?
The human being.
Madam,
Madam,
a
the
human being is
computer.
more powerful.
The computer is more powerful.
Madam, please, we can't hear you.
Hello, Stephen, are you there? Class, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Oh, he has dropped. Elvis,
Madam,
the human being and the computer, who is more powerful?
the computer. The computer is more powerful. Hello? Hello?
Yes, I'm asking, why do you say that?
The computer can do so many things that a human being cannot. And the human being also goes to the computer for help, even though they invented it.
I couldn't hear you. I don't know whether it was from my end or your end.
Madam, I said the human being goes to the computer for help, even though they invented it. And the computer can do so many things the human being cannot. Hello?
Okay, so when you say so many things, like what can you really relate to tell us that the computer is powerful?
Well, a robot is also a computer, and sometimes the robot is what takes care of the human beings. And medical wise, the uh, computers are used in the hospitals also. They are used to do things the human being.
Okay, so the human being is more powerful than the computer. So my follow-up question is, the human being and the computer, who is
Madam,
Madam, please, we can't hear you.
madam,
appears my network? Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, please. It's clear now.
madam, can hear now.
It appears that the network is not helping me. Please give me some few minutes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, madam. Please, we can hear you now.
So it's better now. Okay. All right. So I think the next question we were answering was the computer and the human being who was more intelligent. So the first one is who is more powerful. So now who is more intelligent?
Madam, please, the computer is more intelligent.
The computer is more intelligent than the human being. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, any other opinion?
Madam, the human
The human has done what?
is more intelligent than the. That's what I think, because when the computer is at fault, it's the human being that has to fix it. Yeah.
Okay. Last response.
And then the human is more intelligent.
All right.
Yes. Because
Okay.
its intelligence is based on the human's inputs. The computer's intelligence is based on the human's inputs. So it can be intelligent than the, yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. So the computer and the human being, the computer is more powerful. And if we are measuring that power, to say it is powerful, if we are measuring it, we are measuring it based on the speed, the processing speed, the amount of data that it can store, as the storage capacity, and then the number of information that we can retrieve from it, or it can set out within some period of time. And this period of time, we are talking about mini or microseconds. So not even a minute. We are talking about milliseconds, the amount of data that the computer can process and the information that it can store and so on. But when it comes to intelligence, computer doesn't think, it can't think. So the computer is only functioning on the human intelligence. So whatever the human has thought of is what we put inside the computer and then instruct the computer. So it has been customized or programmed to work according to something. So anything aside what the human being has programmed for the computer cannot do it. But when it comes to human beings, something that you don't even have in mind, if we should ask you, at least you can think through it and then to say something, whether it is correct or it's not correct. All right. So the computer is more powerful, but the human being is more intelligent. All right. So human-computer interaction. What is the basic concept of human-computer interaction? Stephen, please, when is our class ending? Stephen?
I think it's 11. Oh.
I'm not too sure. That's what I'm asking you.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
11:15.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So human-computer interaction, we say, is a field of study that focuses on the design, evaluation, and improvement of the interaction between humans and computers or other technological devices. So this course is not just about how human interacts with the computer. It goes far beyond that. And then let me also mention this before we continue, that in studying this course, you need to have a two-dimensional way of learning this course. The first dimension is you as a human being who is going to use a computer, how you interact with the computer. So when you see a system, you can access it and all that. That is the first dimension. And the second dimension, you should also learn this course as you as an implementer. So you are learning as you as what? An end user of a system. Then you are also learning as you as an implementer or a designer, a developer of a system. Because you are computing and IT students. So if you are computing students, you are learning as what? Developers and then implementers of the system. So if you are implementing a system or you are designing a system, what do you have to know? And if you are using a system, what do you have to know? So have these two concepts at the back of your mind. So whatever we'll be learning, you'll be mapping it to these two, or you'll be finding understanding of it to these two courses. So I take it again. HCI is a field of study that focuses on the design, evaluation, and improvement of the interaction between humans and computers or other technological devices. And what is the primary goal of ACI? The primary goal of ACI is to create a user-friendly and efficient interfaces. That is the primary goal. So the primary goal one is what? To create a user-friendly and efficient interfaces that allow people to interact. A friendly and efficient user interface that allow people to interact with technology in a natural and intuitive way. Then goal two, it involves understanding how humans perceive and process information. So when we take the human being, how do human beings perceive? How do they process information? Because it is based on that we can design a system for them to interact with. So you need to understand the human being. Then goal three, you need to understand how human being communicates and what their needs and preferences are. How do they communicate? And are they just communicating in vain? As they communicate, they have a need, they have a preference of the concept, of the course, to help us design or create a user-friendly and efficient interface that allows and also help us to be able to understand how people perceive and then process information, and then how they communicate to or their needs using technologies. All right, so these are the main concepts of the course. So if I was asking you right from the beginning that what was your expectation or what came into your mind, then it's not just about interaction, but it has it's a system as well as the user's needs. As the user's needs, their preferences, and their cognitive abilities. So in ACI, we need to consider how the human being thinks or the level of thinking capabilities of every individual. It involves understanding how users interact. So you were not in, we understanding how users interact with technology, what challenges they can, and how to design interfaces that accommodate different users' ability. So when we say different users, who are these users? We'll be looking at those different users as we go along. ACI aspects. ACI considers three. Talking about ACI, what is ACI looking at? What is its three pillars or the three pillars on which ACI stands? The first one is what? Usability. So the main focus is that whatever system we do, whether a hardware or a software, will be usable. We will not design a system and then the system will be left on our laptops, but people will use it. So it will be usable. So you see a particular link there, online form or fill online form. I see the link and I click on the link and it's telling me means it's not accessible. So the system should be accessible. That is the second pillar. And the third pillar on which it stands, that is user satisfaction. So it's not only about usability, but as the users are using it, they should be satisfied. They should be happy with it. It should help them achieve their objective or the purpose for which they bought that system. So once we are able to get these three, then we have achieved the goal of an ACI. So these are the three main keys: usability, accessibility, and then user satisfaction. And for we to be able to achieve these three key experiences, it cuts across the graphical design or the user interface design. It cuts across the touch screens and so on, the voice commands, then the gesture controls and so on, which we use as an input. So that means for the system to be usable, accessible, and then achieve user satisfactory, the inputs should be covered. The processing should be covered. And then the output should also be covered. Please, if you have any question, you can ask as we teach along. Okay. So the main or the key aspects of ACI, so usability has appeared again. So we have usability, we have accessibility, which we've already explained. Then we have user experience. As people are using the system, what's their experience? How do they feel? So we have the user experience. Then we have the human-centered design. That is, when we are designing the system, we need to factor the human being, because we are designing the system for a human being and not like a general human being. But we should have our target group and understand them, study them and understand them, so that we can design a system to suit their preference or their needs. By applying principles from psychology, design, and engineering, ACI experts seek to optimize the overall user experience and enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of human-computer interaction. It aims at or to create technology that not only meets users' needs, but also enhances their overall experience while using digital systems and applications. This clause, the clause that we have over there, this is English. What does it mean? To create a technology that not only meets users' needs, but also enhances their overall experience while using digital systems and applications. What does it mean? Here is English. So let's bring it to application. What do we mean by that? I hope you can hear me. Hello, are you with me?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
I can hear you though, but I don't know for the others. And the question
Okay.
again.
I believe you can see my screen.
Yes.
The last paragraph that we have there, the last paragraph, it says it aims, the aim of ACI is to create technology that not only meets users' needs, but also enhances their overall experience as they use applications or digital devices. And I'm saying, what is the meaning of it?
to learn about the if the system, like how the system works, and the experience. Yes, it's measures the experience, how users experience the system. Uh, that's us. That's what I think.
All right. So that's for Andrews. Any other opinion? Yeah,
Yes, Madam.
designing operating. Yes.
The last sentence, it's all about how users, how after using the system, how they feel about it, what judgment they have about the system, whether to come back to use it or whether to have the interest in using the system as time goes on.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So as they are using the system to solve their needs or their preference, they are also having a different experience altogether. The system is teaching them something new. They are having a new feel. They are thinking through the system, like Emmanuel said, whether they should continue to use it or they should stop. So they are having new experiences. So meaning the system should enhance whatever they are doing. It should add more experience. I need that. I want to get a different keyword to replace the experience. But I should add more to whatever they need. All right. So the emergence of ACI dates back to the 1980s when personal computing was on the rise. Technological competence further led to the evolution of user interaction. So talking about user interaction, if you study the history of computer, when computer started, how it started, and the total transformation that it has gone through. So now when we go to 1980s, the late 70s to the 80s, where personal computers started, that is when we started having our desktop computers and so on. That was when the issue of ACI became very prominent. So when we are talking about ACI, we mean what? Interactive interfaces. Interface design, user-centered design, and then user experience design. Can we mention some advantages when it comes to the way human beings interact with their computers? I'm giving you 30 seconds. Just write something down. Write 3. Or let me say two advantages and then 2 disadvantages of human computer interaction, the way people or human being interacts with the computer. Does it give us any advantage? Does it give us any disadvantage? 30 seconds. So think through and then write it down. Then I'll call you to mention them out. Okay, so Sarah, mention one, just one of your advantages.
Madam, please, it increases productivity.
Increase productivity. All right, thank you. Collins. One advantage. This Collins, is he part of us or he just the host? One advantage.
Ma'am, please come again. Hello.
I should come again. Adams. Yes, one.
Yes.
Hello, Adams. Adams, are you speaking? I've seen that you have unmuted, but I can't hear you. I don't know whether it's from my end. Desmond. Wait.
Madam, you called me.
Yes, I need your answer.
I think it has helped disabled people to access so they can access systems like the voice command and the gesture yeah, gesture signs.
All
It's an
right.
advantage.
Okay, so who is speaking now? Nyakun?
Yes, madam.
Okay, all right. Adams, are you saying something? We can't hear you. Okay. Desmond, are you ready now? Noble.
Madam,
Yes,
it increase efficiency.
it increase efficiency.
Yes, please.
Okay. Is that Noble?
Yes, please.
Okay. George. George Kwame Tete. Justice.
Yeah, madam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it improves user satisfaction and experience.
Okay. All right. Prince.
Yes, madam.
Mm-hmm. What
It
advantage?
helps the user. Yeah, so it helps the user to complete task faster. But it helps you to complete task faster.
Okay. Steven.
So, madam,
Yes.
it helps in global connectivity.
Global connectivity. All right. But can we still have any disadvantages upon all these numerous advantages that you have mentioned? Will it also have some disadvantage?
Yes, madam.
All right, so give us some.
Dependence on technology.
over dependence on technology. Any other?
Health issues.
Health issues. Health issues. Sometimes you see my heart beats when we look at the way the youth are using phones and other devices now, so glued to them. Few years to come, a lot of people will be having mental problem. Others will be having eye problems, spinal, how do you call it? Spinal cord problems and so on. So health issues. Any other?
Yes, madam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Security risk.
Security risk. Okay, can you help us understand that?
Okay. So when we talk about the security risk on disadvantages of the human computer interaction, sometimes it makes it easier to accidentally leak private data.
Leaking of data.
Yes, please.
All right. Sometimes it's not even about somebody leaking your data. We ourselves, the way we give out information, without thinking twice. We are downloading every app. And you know, most of the apps, before you download, they'll ask you to sign up. Quick, we give our information. So, you know, this make our information exposed for everywhere. So that's also another disadvantage. Is there any other again that has not yet been mentioned?
Madam, please, isolation.
Isolation. When we were young, especially for those of us who grew up in the village, in the evenings like this, we'll go and meet somewhere, especially when the moonlight appears. We'll meet at the market square somewhere, we'll be telling stories. Even if we don't go out, in our homes, you see brothers sitting down, chatting, telling stories, doing all sort of things, playing natural games, or how do I put it? Human to human games and all this. So all this bring interactivity. You go to homes, the husband, the wife, the children, they all sit down, they chat and all that. But now because of phones, so you go, the father is on the laptop somewhere, say, in the name of I'm working. That's the husband. The wife is also on TikTok. And the children are also on games. So we are being isolated from each other. Very, very risky for human race. Now, once there is no relationship between human beings, once we are breaking that gap of relationship, it becomes very dangerous to us. Any other? Okay. So I have some few ones here. So let me also mention what I have so that you can add yours to it. So advantages, we said improved user experience. I think someone mentioned that. Then increased productivity, it was mentioned. Enhanced accessibility. Then higher user satisfaction. Reduced errors. Because when we are designing the system, there are models that guide us on how to help you correct their errors even before the data is. So when all these things, or we sometimes even prevent them from making errors. We prevent them to a large extent. You need to prevent the user from making errors. So reduce errors. We have increased adoption rates, better decision making, cost saving, competitive advantage, then ethical consideration. So that's what I have for the advantages. Then when we come to the disadvantages, we have complexity. At the initial stage of developing the technology, it is very complex. Then learning curves. So you have to be learning every day, whether you are a developer or you are a user. Always you have to be learning something new to be able to adapt. And then accessibility challenges. When it happens that your system is not well implemented, users may be having problems accessing it. Then we have dependence on technology, as someone has already mentioned, the health issues, privacy and security concerns, cognitive overload. We put so much information or too much pressure. We may put too much pressure on the brain because we are accessing every application, going here, going there, opening this app and so on. And sometimes even some of the systems you may not understand. You have to be thinking through what to do. So all these things are there. Disconnection from the physical world, that's isolation that Sarah mentioned. And we have technical issues and glitches as well. So that is it for ACI, advantages and then disadvantages. So now let's look at some of the domains in which ACI is applied. In fact, even all this, we just have to discuss. We don't have to be reading from a book because computer is something that we use in our daily basis. Everything we do, we have some little bit of computer or computing system in there. So in user experience, improve accessibility, makes technology usable and effective. So the usage of ACI in user interface designs, in user experience design, in system accessibility, in gaming, in virtual, augmented, and then virtual ACI role interaction. In where smartwatch, your smart sunglasses, your smart whatever that you wear. Some are even health devices that we wear and so on. All these are the usage of ACI. Then we have automotive interfaces. Gone are the days when you sit in a car and then we say we have something called a blind spot. So you have to be adjusting your mirrors here and there to see whether there is no object at those blind spots. Now, right from your dashboard, you can even see beneath the car, behind at the base, whether your tire is falling into a gutter or whatever. All the so automotive interfaces, we have e-learning, we have health and medical applications. In fact, this is the area where we even experience bigger and major implementations of ACI when it comes to health and medical applications. You go to bigger hospitals, you go to the MRI, the scan, and all those things, and that's where you see different forms of devices. To the extent that now a surgery can even be performed on an interface, on a screen, rather than directly on the human being. Now they perform some internal surgeries on interface. So the device will be connected to the user. There are some that they will pass in through your internal parts. So assuming the problem is maybe inside your stomach or some of the organs in there, a device is connected into you, then a screen is provided. So now the doctor will be performing the surgery on the screen. As he's working from the screen, it is working internally. So at the health sector, that is where we have the major implementations of ACI. Then also in smart home technologies, your smart TV, your smart fridge. Right from the kitchen to the bedroom to the hall to the bathhouse, everywhere. We have ACI. Then we have the human AI interaction as well, which is also another major aspect. ACI course, that is where we'll end our class for today. Today is just introduction, so we don't talk much. God willing, next week. So I will populate the materials to the page. Even if I'm not able to do that, at least for what we'll be studying next week, I'll forward it to the course rep so that you give it to you. I have some assignments. So now we're moving it to Friday. No, let's put it on Thursday. Thursday day to go, 25th, right? So Thursday, have I done any mistake? Is that not the spelling for Thursday? Thursday, 25th June 2023. So compare and contrast human information processing and computer information processing within the context of human-computer interaction based on their inputs, process, and then output. So that's the assignment for the day. So how do human beings input or receive inputs? Not inputting into the computer, the human being itself. The human being is yourself. How do you accept input into your system, not into a computer or any device? And then how do we process this input? And how do we provide an output or information? Then when it comes to the computer, how do computers accept inputs, process it, and then provide output? So that is the assignment for you to be submitted on Thursday by, let's put it at 10 p.m. By then, you would have returned from work.
Madam, please extend it for us.
And consider being mommy.
12 noon is okay.
12 noon on Thursday.
Yes, please.
Oh, so you prefer 12 noon to
Midnight
10
or
No,
noon?
no,
Midnight.
12
Sorry.
a.m.
AM.
11:59.
12 a.m. They need a rough Friday.
11:59.
So it will be 11. But if you are not able to submit up to 10 p.m., 1 hour, hey. So 1 hour, you're ready.
It can do a lot.
It can do a lot.
Yes, please.
Even a minute can do a lot, depending on how you manage it. A minute can do a lot. Okay, brothers and a lovely sister, thank you so much for your weekend. We will leave you for the next lecture. So go have some rest, get something to eat before the next
Hi,
class.
I have a question.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yes.
Please, how are you submitting it?
If I populate the course, then I'll create a link. Otherwise, I prefer written, please. I prefer written. So you don't write too much. We need points, point by point. I don't need paragraphs, a whole lot of sentence. Are we okay?
Yeah,
Yes, madam.
okay.
Yeah, so give us very good points and just a little elaboration. Don't write too much. So
Okay.
after writing it, then you can take a picture of it or scan it, and then you submit it to your course rep. But we'll be communicating if the page is populated before then. You'll be notified so that you submit it online.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, stay blessed.
You too. Thank you.
too.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.